everyone. This week, I'm taking a break from the usual structure to talk about a recently discovered planet that could provide clues to the existence of ancient life in our own Milky Way. And I'm not talking about Grandpa. Our solar system, so that's us on the Earth, Mars, Jupiter, and all the planets around us, was formed around 5 billion years ago, and it took life billions of years to develop on Earth. But this recently discovered planet, TOI-561b, is 10 billion years old, twice as old as we are, and only 2 billion years younger than our galaxy, the Milky Way. That means that TOI-561b was formed when a lot of the stars in our galaxy were just starting out their lives. In other words, old and rocky planets like TOI-561b may have had twice as long for life to develop, twice the opportunity for life to exist on them than we did. TOI-561b, which I'm gonna call Toy Boy for the rest of the video, was discovered in 2020 and is a super Earth, only 0.01055 AU from its star. Now we on Earth are 1 AU from the sun, so this planet is really close to its star, and it orbits its star in a very short 10.5 hours. It's also tidally locked, meaning that one side is always facing the star, and that side is probably home to a huge ocean of magma. In addition to this, its surface temperature is 1,726 degrees Celsius, suggesting that it probably isn't host to any life at the moment. But what is interesting is that despite it being 1.5 times the size of Earth and 3 times its mass, Toy Boy here has almost the same density as Earth. This suggests that, as I've already mentioned, it's very old. Well, how do we know it's so old? Well, the age of Toy Boy is characteristic of its location in the galaxy. Most exoplanets that we have discovered so far were formed in the younger, thin disk of our galaxy. However, Toy Boy is floating around in its solar system in the thick disk, the thickest part of our galaxy. Most spiral galaxies have a thin disk and a thick disk. In the thin disk resides rock, gas, stars, and planets like ours. However, old stars low in heavy metals like Iron Maiden tend to reside in the outer thick disk. And what's exciting here is that these stars were thought not to host planets until now. Toy Boy is one of the first rocky planets to be found in the thick disk of the Milky Way. So what makes Toy Boy as dense as Earth, despite it being larger, is its lack of heavy elements, like iron, magnesium, and Def Leppard. These heavy elements are produced by fusion reactions in massive stars and have slowly been building up over time in our Milky Way. A planet like Toy Boy with low density was created a long time ago when there were less heavy elements in the galaxy. The discovery of Toy Boy means that rocky planets have been around even longer than we first thought. If Earth is only 5 billion years old, and this rocky planet Toy Boy is 10 billion years old, again, that's double the time, double the chance for it to have developed life compared to what we had. And because we previously didn't think that there were old and rocky planets like this in the thick disk of the Milky Way, we now have more possibilities to find life somewhere in our galaxy. Just a little more trivia for you, Toy Boy is almost the same age as its sun. The star, TOI-561, is a metal-poor orange dwarf star, and one of the galaxy's oldest. It seems to have 3 planets, our Toy Boy over here, and also TOI-561c and TOI-561d, or as I like to call them, Toy Koi and Toy Doi? Okay, I like to rag on NASA for these lame planet names, but it's actually a lot more difficult than I thought. By the way, C and D are at least twice the size of Earth and are too low mass to be rocky. The planets were discovered using NASA's Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite, or TESS, and the Keck Observatory in Hawaii. Toy Boy is about 280 light years away in the Sextant constellation, a faint constellation in the southern hemisphere. So next time you're south of the equator, take a look up and start looking for more rocky worlds in the thick disk of the Milky Way. Well, that's all the time we have for today, but be sure to let us know what real-life planets you'd like to see in the comments below. A lot of the planets we're doing this season are in fact fan recommendations, so leave a comment, like, subscribe, and smash that bell icon or whatever, and we'll see you on the next fact-packed episode of Know Your Planets. Keep your eyes to the skies.